Well, good morning and welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show. And I am joined by my friend Grace Prezzavento. She is from Trattoria Giuseppe. Forget about it. If you ever go to the restaurant, you'll understand. We hear that a lot. Thank you for coming in so early.
You're very, very welcome. It's my pleasure.
I'm going to introduce you to one of our favorite restaurants that is a hidden gem, unless you have been coming for so many years and you're like, no, it's not a hidden gem. We've been going there forever. But some of my friends and family, maybe not, have heard of it or have gone down. And today we're going to introduce you to the restaurant, but introduce you to their kind hearts. And I really wanted to talk about the fact that they have really stepped up for our first responders. So you'll see the description talking about, obviously I'm a police officer's wife. My husband's a lieutenant with the St. Louis County Police. And she and I were just talking before we got on the air about how many things have changed over the years, right? I think, Grace, when I was growing up as a little girl, I used to look forward to the police officers coming in to school and it was officer friendly, right? Girls. And then, okay, mouthy girls. No. This is the real show, right? Jim, can you... There must be a deer. Good morning, everyone. Let's just do this. We're going to get deep into the conversation. All right. Hey, girl. There it is. Oh, it's a turkey. Hey, your dad's gonna get mad at you. Hey, everybody. How's your morning starting off? Oh, go get him. Adelaide, go outside. Hang on, everybody. Just come here. All right, go get him. Go. Okay. Normally, normally Jim doesn't want them going out because he doesn't want them to scare the deer and the turkey. All right. She's not in trouble. We can switch the camera. So bye, Adelaide. This is what everybody loves. They're like, please don't stop doing the show from your home because we love the realness of it all. I'm like, this is life, isn't it? Your kids during COVID, there's so many stories of husbands coming out of a bedroom and they're like, you're naked and we're on live on a Zoom call. Okay, my husband's not going to do that. He is walking around in a robe, but it's the dogs. Let's start again. Thank you for being with us. Look at everyone's cracking up. Sean, Linda, Kathy, good morning. Good morning. I've got to get there. Oh, so somebody wants to come to the restaurant. Yay. I've never been there. Hold on. I've never been there yet. I used to live in the building on the corner that's right next door to the dog wash. Where's the dog wash? You'll have to let us know where the dog wash is, Terry.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, let me now reintroduce, since Adelaide's going nuts in the background. This is my friend Grace Prezzavento. She is the owner with her husband Giuseppe of Trattoria Giuseppe, and that is in Imperial, Missouri. We started coming here when we moved into the area and fell in love with it. And then I really fell in love when I realized, oh my gosh, they've got this incredible heart for our first responders. Let's go back, though. First of all, how many years have you been open?
It'll be 17 years, the 10th of October.
And
wow.
Congratulations to that.
I know. It just seems unreal. It just seems like it was just yesterday that Joe, told, we have two sons and two daughter-in-laws. So this place where we are, he just always had this mindset that this would be a great place for a restaurant. And I'll be honest, the boys and I thought he was a little nuts.
Why?
Because you have to realize, I remember telling him, our view is a towing company across the street. What? So
you're talking about location.
Yes.
So let's back up for a second. When we moved in, my husband's like, okay, it's the first week in the house. I'm going to take you up to this great restaurant. Don't judge the parking lot. That was the first comment, right?
Because when we opened 17 years ago, there were still other businesses in there. There was us, there was a paint store, there was the music store, there was the bar that's still there, that's been there. God love them. Probably 50 years.
Oh, really? We still have never popped in.
Same family owned.
Okay.
So anyway, it became available. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I was a preschool teacher for eons. And I remember our youngest son and daughter-in-law were going to be married. And I kept thinking, I don't want to be a burnt out grandmother.
Right.
I don't, So one day I had enough, and I told him, I go, okay, this could be wrong. I don't know, but if it's still available, we'll do it. And
here you are 17 years later.
Here we are.
Well, and here's the thing. Now let me go back to that comment about the parking lot. So he said, don't judge a parking lot. So I felt like we were pulling in, and you talked about this bar. And so I was like, is this like a biker bar area? Like, where are we going? And he goes, you just wait. And so we walk in and we get greeted by the two of them, and they are just the kindest, sweetest people, great customer service. And then I have the most incredible food. And I'm like, this place is awesome. He goes, see, I told you. So it's kind of the whole thing of never judge a book by its cover.
Right, exactly. Because I remember you had to wait a little bit for a table, and you sat up at the bar.
The first time?
Oh, and I made you a martini.
A dirty martini.
That.
Oh, that's a good memory.
I always remember what people drink.
Well, and it regularly, it is packed. So obviously over the years, people have been loving it and coming in, and you have regulars that are there all the time supporting you, and then us supporting back. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring her on is the support that she does for obviously the profession that's very near and dear to me. We're going to talk about our police officers. We're going to talk about firefighters, paramedics. We talked about dispatch. Mm-hmm. Those that work in communications. I want to honor all of you because life has changed since the summer of 2015. And you know what happened. We're just going to leave it there. But for our local area, and I guess I would say for the world, because it really went worldwide, suddenly the respect element, don't you agree?
Yeah.
Drastically changed.
There's no respect for them. I mean,
there is, but not
to the point that it was.
But what we wanted to do today, I'm going to take a quick break here. What we wanted to do today, though, is let all of you know that are in the profession, we do respect you. I think it's not like the silent ones. We speak out. Mm-hmm. We're doing shows like this to say, we love you. Thank you for your heroism. Thank you for being there for us, to serve and protect and police, to run into the fires, to put them out whenever, again, everything that we run away from, they're running towards to protect our community. And we've got to bring the kindness and the respect back for them. So we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about an incredible fundraiser that they are putting on, and that's coming up on October 8th. So mark it on your calendars, and I'm going to show you all the details that you need to know. You're going to want to be there. Jim and I are volunteering, so we'll even be serving you the food. Stay tuned. More on that when we return. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment, or online envitahealthandwellness.com. All right, well, welcome back. And again, thanks for joining us. It's the Thursday mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show, brought to you by our wonderful friends at Envita Health and Wellness. We sat down, had an incredible dinner with Dr. Sarah and her husband, Brandon, last night. And we talked about the incredible things that we want to do in the future and going into 2024, because they are really, truly changing lives. Okay, I'm going to put this up on the screen, and I'm going to give you all the information that you need to know. So take a look at this first. This is what I'm talking about. It's Sunday, October 8th, 2023, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's Trattoria Giuseppe, and we're going to give you the information you need with regards to making reservations, what you can expect that day, the yummy food, the donations to go back to our first responders. So take a look at this. Okay, and I'll put that up for you again. When I'm at home, unfortunately, I keep telling my videographer, and I was like, when I put like those things up on the screen, I can't talk over them for some reason. He's like, you can't? I said, no, you got to get that fixed. So I'll put that up a couple more times just to show you. Maybe you can take a picture of it, but otherwise just listen to this. Before we go into the fundraiser itself, why did you choose 5 years ago, Backstoppers? And then I actually introduced her to Responder Rescue, because not that Backstoppers isn't, I love what they do, but Responder Rescue is very near and dear to our heart. And the reason why is this: Backstoppers always was giving to those that were killed in the line of duty. Responder Rescue, which has been run for many years by Pat and Lisa Byrne, incredible people. And Pat was a captain in the St. Louis City Fire Department, Riverview, many different organizations. He introduced us years ago to Responder Rescue, and they are the ones that are there when they are injured in the line of duty. They can't return to work. They have mental health. They have PTSD and killed in the line of duty. It's all of that, all encompassing. And you had never heard of them, right?
No.
And aren't you glad you know about them now?
I am so
Beautiful
glad.
people.
But we got involved with Backstoppers and with Responder Rescue because, we're very blessed to have the business that we have, and that by the grace of God that it's been successful for all these years. And we always said we wanted to do something to give back to the community and to thank God for what we're able to do. We appreciate our first responders beyond belief because they put their life on the line every single solitary day for us, no questions asked. So we first got involved with Backstoppers, and we did that for 3 years. But then you introduced us to Responder Rescue, and we thought, well, you know what? This is just a good way to give back, to help, because the people that are injured and have the mental health issues or other issues, and now they're wondering, am I going to be able to go back to work? How am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? And Responder Rescue jumps in and does that. And I just think that that's unbelievable.
Well, because, and again, let's stress this. I am a big supporter. We do a lot of volunteerism. I've had tons of stories over my 30-year career about Backstoppers. So when people have written on here, hey, you got to do a show about Backstoppers. And I said, absolutely. They do incredible things. But as a wife of an officer, there are more that are maimed, injured, can't return, deal with the mental health issues during the profession after they retire than there are that are killed in the line of duty. But the fact that Responder Rescue also helps those that are killed in the line of duty, it's all encompassing. So I want you to know about Responder Rescue, and you can find out they're going to be at this benefit along with all of us that are volunteering. And then, of course, the incredible food. So let's give them the rundown of October 8th.
So it's noon to 5. We ask that you RSVP. I mean, there'll be plenty of seating, but the RSVP is for our benefit because we need to know, are we cooking for 200 people? Are we cooking for 500?
Yes.
We just kind of need to know. So we have enough. I mean, there'll be more than enough.
Oh, there's always enough. Giuseppe's always got so much food for you.
But we just need to know. And I also want to say, if you don't make a reservation, you're not going to be turned away at the door. We're going to take you. And if you come in at 5:00, we'll still take you.
This is true. We've been there. More people to serve. There's a line out the door.
But it's for our benefit. So we know, I mean, it's a buffet. So you'll have the basic stuff. You'll have the salad and the bread and the toasted ravioli. And I think 2 or 3 maybe different pastas, and there'll be some meat. And then at the very end of the buffet line are all these little desserts. And there's this cute, adorable, bubbly, sparkly little girl by the name of Bella, who just happens to be our granddaughter.
She's so awesome.
And she presents the desserts. And I don't care if you don't want it, she will get you to take
This is true.
And then you put your donation in her little boot.
Yes.
And she brings in a lot of money with donations.
So does she have like now this is the second year you've been doing it with Responder Rescue, but does she have a goal?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what does she want to raise?
Okay, so last year she raised $2,300.
Did she really?
In her booth.
Bella. Oh, because she just flashes those eyes.
I know.
Hello, you want to? No, I don't need any dessert. Yes, you do.
And she'll tell you what each one is. So I think her goal this year, I think, is $2,500.
Okay. So when you come, and again, the food, like she said, is amazing. Yes, there's several pastas. You've got the appetizer. You've got, weren't there meatballs?
Yes.
Meatballs. And then, like she said, then there's other meats, then the desserts. And then there's opportunities for you to drop more money in the boot as well. What does it cost for the buffet?
$25 for adults, $12 for kids 12 and under.
Okay.
Oh, we forgot. There's also going to be wine tasting sponsored by Tavolo Veneto.
Yes, and we love them.
And so you taste, the wine's delicious.
Yes.
And then you made one, you can buy the bottle of wine. Say you taste a really nice Pinot Grigio. Oh, I love that. You can buy the bottle, and all the proceeds go to Responder Rescue.
All the proceeds from the wine tasting? Wow.
Mhm.
Joe and Marcy, we love them. They do a wonderful job. Again, you have so many people, and this I think is a true testament to who a person is by the people that they surround themselves with and those that want to attach to your energy. You have introduced us and we've had some incredible fun nights at closing the place down with your friends. And all of your friends are so like-minded and all want to give back. They're all there that day.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, they are.
I mean, they
Every
show up
single
for
one
you.
of them.
That's
Yes,
a true friend.
yes,
And you would do the same for them,
yes.
obviously.
Yes, they're on the buffet line. They're either making drinks, soda, tea, coffee, running them to all over the restaurant, collecting the if you can pay by cash or you can pay by credit card. So one of our friends, Cindy, will have her table set up, and she'll collect the cash money as you come in. But if you want to pay by credit card, then you come over and you'll see me. I'll run your credit card, and then you get your plate and you start on the buffet.
Yeah, and again, it's amazing food. And I know a lot of you maybe have never been there before. Let's tell them where you're located.
It's at 5442 Old Highway 21. The mailing address is Imperial, Missouri, but we're actually in the town of Otto.
Oh, okay.
But Otto doesn't have a post office, so we're Imperial.
Yeah.
So if you Google us and you think that we're somewhere on Main Street in Imperial, no.
Just off Old 21, not far from Highway M.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to come to this. It's going to be so much fun. You'll get an opportunity to interact with all of us. You'll hear probably fun police stories, fire stories, paramedics. Again, a lot of them come.
Yes.
Many come in uniform sometimes. They just love it. They regularly support you as well.
Yes, they do.
Not just Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, but we're talking St. Louis County, city. They all come down.
We get them from all over.
Yeah.
From Herky. When we used to be open for lunch, we would get the state patrol sometime. If they had been working an accident, they would come in and have lunch. So it's all over.
Well, because they want to pay it forward. They know how much they love our first responders. And then what I'd love to know is how many of you, somebody just said great restaurant. Good morning to you, Kathy and Linda. Terry had mentioned she had been there. Marilyn says, good morning. Love hearing your dogs. Hi, Laura and Leona. Good morning. Love the restaurant. Kathleen Morris says, do you know Kathleen Morris? Yeah, I know. Look, I agree with you. In 17 years of restaurant business, 30 years of broadcasting, people will come up. Remember me? I want to so bad, but oh my gosh, we're talking about thousands and thousands of people, right? It's very difficult. If you look towards the north, the big parking lot with the brick apartment building is where I used to live. I don't know. Do you know what she's talking about?
Is she talking about Verta Vista?
I don't. You have to let us know, Terry. Where did you live in Imperial? Good morning. Wonderful restaurant, says Anne. She came to the benefit last year. A lot of the girls that I personal train all showed up. They're incredible. They always want to come out for that. Love the fur babies. All right. Michelle, good morning. Good morning, Darlene. Marilyn, Lee and KKP, yet another road trip. Okay, so they love being introduced to all these different wonderful businesses that I've had on, and they'll get their group of girls together and they'll go do like a little road trip.
That's
so here you go.
Awesome.
The three of you or more need to come down on October 8th for this benefit. What is your restaurant's favorite dish?
Well, since we're Italian, obviously it would be Italian food, but
I
will tell you
if you had to pick one. I always like to do this. Would you tell me what Giuseppe's would be and what's yours?
Well, okay, what mine would be of a pasta?
Or anything on the menu.
Okay. Well, my favorite is steak because we don't eat a lot of steak. Mm-hmm. So mine is filet. I don't want any sauce on it. I just want to taste the steak.
Let me say something. When I was at Channel 2, and Glenn Zimmerman, who was a very dear friend of mine, he knew where we moved, and he said, oh my God, you've got to go to this restaurant because they have, ready? He said, the best steak he ever had in his life. And I said, where? At a restaurant by us? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I think it's probably really, really close to you. So we look it up, and I said, oh, I've been there. I said, my husband introduced me to it. I said, but I'm not a big meat eater usually, not a big pasta eater. I usually look for like fish options, whatever. But I was like, okay, what the heck? So she talked about the filet. You have a peppercorn filet. And that is what I will get sometimes. And I will absolutely say it's the best steak I've ever had.
but the salmon is also amazing.
I've had the salmon once. You know what? That's right. And no, I take that back. I changed it because I think you have a dill sauce on it, don't you?
Not anymore.
Oh, you don't? How do you prepare it now?
It's in like an olive oil kind of, it's an olive oil sauce with seasoning, very light, very good.
And it's grilled?
Mm-hmm.
But I've had him, here's what he did for me. So, because Giuseppe is phenomenal in the kitchen. And then he'll come out. He sees, this is what I love about him. The two of them are always out there and they're greeting everyone, thanking everyone. And you've probably done that for 17 years. Go to every table thanking everyone, which I think is a big, big deal. I mean, you want to see the owners of the restaurant, but a lot of times everybody's so busy, you never get a chance to say, thank you, I love your restaurant. He and she are around and you'll be able to, that's the customer service. He made a blackened salmon for me one time, which I loved. But the salmon, the steak, if you want to ask my husband, he's enjoyed, now let's see if I say it properly, chicken caratrezzo? Caratrezzi. He always says caratrezzo. Caratrezzi. That's really good. You have a Cajun shrimp or Cajun seafood pasta. Cajun seafood pasta he's loved. He tries a lot of different things. I mean, he's Italian, and that's the connection he also has with you is they're from Sicily, which is where his mother's side of the family is from. So we still need to get back there. You go often?
We are going next year.
Take me with you.
We are going next year, and I can't wait because it's been put off. It's been put off, and it's just, we got to go. You
do have to go. Get back to family. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're talking with Grace, and it's Trattoria Giuseppe off of Old Highway 21, not far from Highway M. Just get into the restaurant in general because you're going to love it. And it is consistent. Always incredible food, always incredible service. You've got a great staff there as well that supports you. And then the community that comes out and supports. But what I love, she's got a new friend. You can't see. Well, here, let's do this. Can you see the dog? There she is. Sweet. Look, Tessa, you never get a chance to come on to the broadcast. Say hi, Tess. All right, everybody. This is the real side of life. And this, I wanted to show it, so let's go ahead and show it. Blessed. We are, aren't we?
We are very, very blessed.
Yes, we are blessed as human beings. We are blessed in the community that we have that supports us. So October 8th for sure. For the buffet responder rescues who they are benefiting. So $25 again for adults. And then those that are 12 and under, how much?
10
for 12 and under, 25 for adults. Buffet, incredible food. Again, like-minded people, because everyone's coming out for great food, but I love that they all tell stories about.
And can I just interject one thing?
Please.
Okay, so let's say you're a first responder, but you're on duty that day at the firehouse, and you can't come up, but you still want to get some food. Send your wife up.
Yes.
Or your significant other. We'll make plates. We've done that before.
That's right.
And we'll send it along with them.
I've seen a lot of that. Yes. And it's just, let's pile all this up. They can't come in, but they want to support.
Right.
That's what we love. So you're going to do the $25, but then I know a lot of people are like, can I give more? Yes. That's why you have the boots.
Yeah. That's where.
And that's where you're going to take care of Bella.
That's where Bella comes in.
$2,500 Bella is wanting to see.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning is what I wanted to say. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Trattoria Giuseppe, October 8th event. Oh, Michelle's putting it on there for us. Thank you. Good morning, Michelle. Marilyn, did you say food? Count me in. You're going to hear about Kathy Kilo Peterson. Actually, we'll hear from her in just a second. Good morning. My Aunt Tootie, she, I believe, has been up there with us because they don't live too far away either. Julie, good morning. Yay, road trip and food. Yes. I will have to go on 2 diets from all these intros from Monica. Good food for sure. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Salmon, someone said, sign me up. Okay. Oops. Okay. So I thought so. She said, my bad. Misunderstood the location. I've never lived in Imperial. Hoping to come on the 8th. I thought so. I was like, I think you're talking about a different restaurant. So yes, we're talking about Trattoria Giuseppe. So she might be talking about another of our favorite restaurants, which is in the city, and it's Trattoria's name as well, Marsala.
Right.
Which
I've heard you talk
we
about
love. See, we stick with the Trattorias. We love them both, and in fact, you're going to see a special feature on them coming up soon. But I want you to see. So if you're living in the city or you want to drive into the city, yes, go support them. But if you want to come down and you want to. right? Tessa, tell them they want to experience a hidden gem. It is Trattoria Giuseppe in Imperial. I want you to come on a regular basis, but I mainly want you to come on October 8th because that's when we're giving back. Good morning to all of you. Okay, we're going to give you all the information that you need to know, and then I'm going to let her run off because she got a booster seat that I think Giuseppe needs for
Bella.
Well, she's got to be taken care of because she needs to get ready for next month. Okay, let's give them all the information they need one more time.
So it's Sunday, October 8th, noon to 5. Buffet, $25 for adults, $10 for children 12 and under. And it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. I mean, don't think that you go through one time and then you're going to get you're going to get in trouble if you want to come back through. No, you can come back through.
So come hungry, don't eat breakfast. Yeah, I mean, I've seen people. What we're sitting there serving, and I'm like, oh, he's coming the third time.
But there'll be plenty of food for you to do that.
But please, out of respect, and we're talking about respect, and we're going to go a little deeper. I'll do this with you because I know she's got to rush off. I'll go a little bit deeper into the respect aspect of our first responders. But the respect aspect for them is just so that they can prepare enough is to RSVP.
Right.
They're not going to turn you away if you haven't. And at the last second, you're like, I heard about this great fundraiser. I just want to run up there. That's fine. But just so that they have enough food to be made, try to do that for them. What's your phone number?
It is 636-942-2405.
And I'm going to put the flyer up a couple more times before I wrap up today. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Love you both so much. You know that. We come in and support them a lot. I mean, and that's the other part of respect. I will tell Jim will go, let's go up to Giuseppe. And I said, did you make reservations? No, it's a good. No, please. I'm just going to tell you this. And do you not agree? I don't care if there's only a couple people in the restaurant. I just think it's kind to call the restaurant and make reservations. Do you agree?
I do agree because we fill up so quickly that it's just nice, especially if you're a first timer.
Yes.
It's really nice if you have that reservation so that way you come in and you have your table.
Right.
I'll take care of you at the bar because that's my area. But really, if you're a first timer, I really like that experience of a table. But you'll get good service with me too.
Absolutely. Well, and then we mentioned their customer service is fantastic. But we did that actually recently. Grace saw us and she's like, "Oh, you guys, you looking for a table?" And Jim's like, "Nope, we didn't make reservations." And she's like, "Oh, we might be able to find something." And we both said, "No, we're just going to sit up here." She goes, "You're going to sit at my space?" So we did. I love sitting with bartenders, by the way. Sometimes obviously want to be in the restaurant, but there's so many stories that are told at bars. It's such a different feel and it's just kicked back. Sometimes we just want to go up there and just have a bottle of wine and just something casual. I'm going to tell you this, and I always hate it because it comes around to Fridays and Saturdays when we start to slow down a little bit and want to, have time together. And I will go, oh, they have phenomenal pizza, but you don't have it on Fridays and Saturdays.
Not on Friday and Saturday.
And is that because you're too busy or what?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But you have to have that throughout the week.
Tuesday through Thursday, and then Sunday, you can get the pizza.
And you need to, because I was introduced to it and it's dangerous. So it's probably good that it's not available on Fridays and Saturdays because I'll be like, oh, I need to lose some weight. Thank you. Tell Giuseppe, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having
Give me
come
big
and
hugs.
talk to you.
Oh,
this was very nice.
October 8th. Put it on the calendar. Save the date right now. Give them a call to make reservations. I'm going to show you the flyer here. And then we're going to thank one of our newest sponsors, Kathy Kilo Peterson. We love her. And I'm going to tell you all about her. But here's all the information you need to know one more time. I want to thank Kathy Kilo Peterson and her staff. Actually, between Kathy and all of her agents, they have a combined tenure of 82 years with her State Farm agency. 11-person team. They will come and meet you wherever it is most convenient because obviously they're meeting you in the worst of times. Then they want to take you to the best of times. Kathy Kilo Peterson has been a State Farm agent for 23 years. In fact, she got into the insurance agency because she saw a lack of service in the industry. And she chose State Farm because they are the most financially conservative conservative company, and outstanding financial strength. One of the things I love about Kathy is that she's a big animal lover. They have Vinny in the office on a daily basis. They are award-winning as well. President's Club, 3 years. Chairman's Club, 13 years. St. Louis Business Journal's 40 under 40 recipient. State Farm Advisory Council. They offer life insurance, home, auto, business, and supplemental medical insurance. KKilo.com. Kathy Kilo Peterson, thank you so much for believing in this show, and I want all of you to support her.
It's the icing on the cake.
The final brush stroke.
The finishing touches make all the difference in your home, too.
Have fun and get started at carolhouse.com/room planner.
With thousands of accessories in our 3.5-acre showrooms.
Get your picture perfect room and the lowest prices in the country at Carol House.
Because you like nice things.
You know, of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com, 314-567-5585. Well, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you've got to go back and watch the beginning of the show. And that's the beauty of all of these. Since March 1st, you can go back to the full catalog of the shows from when we started here with the vision on a cell phone, moving to a full-on broadcast from the house. And then in June, well, May 1st, we moved into our space. And then June 12th, I think it was, we moved into our beautiful studios, the Invita Health and Wellness Studios. And it's just been incredible to see what the community has done and how we've all come together for a better purpose, right? So thank you to Grace and Giuseppe. Thank you for all that they're doing. And October 8th, hopefully you saw that flyer, October 8th, 12 to 5, please make reservations. We can't wait to see you. We're going to be volunteering that day for them as we give back to those that we love. And I want to go a little bit more in depth now to talk about the respect aspect. What do you all feel? Like, again, we look at the summer of 2015 and then a couple years later with another thing that happened in our area. And again, I don't want to focus. This is what I walked away from television news for. It's not focusing on the action or the act of what happened, the crime, the horrible news that's out there. Instead, it is, what can we do about it? And so that's what I'm taking. It's changing the narrative of, yes, we know what happened in 2015. And then I think there was another verdict a couple years later. And there's always going to be those, unfortunately. It's the crime that's out there. But if we don't give them power, or we as the media don't go on and on and on. One of the things that my husband had mentioned during Ferguson, let's go ahead and say the word, during Ferguson, it was, if the cameras weren't there, if the lights weren't on, suddenly you didn't have all of the chaos. It was there, but they were playing to the cameras. They were playing to the local and to the national media that came. And then suddenly when the cameras would turn off, it was, okay, everybody dissipate and everybody's going back to their homes. And all of a sudden you wouldn't have the chaos that everybody was reporting on. So if you feed it, it will become larger and larger and larger. If you don't give it power, then watch what happens. Instead, we give power to change. What can we do? Well, today's show is one about this incredible restaurant that is giving back to those that are near and dear to our hearts. I mean, I want our police officers that watch this show, and I want you, by the way, to do me a favor, and I'm going to ask you to do this. I want you to share. Please share, like, follow the live stream. It's not just here on Facebook, but maybe you're watching on YouTube. So those that are not on social media, let them know that they can go to our YouTube page at TheRealMonicaAdams. So that way we can have people all over our area, all over states away, countries, world away. I want everyone to know that this forum is there to make a difference. And as a community, we can come out and say, what can we do? So what we're going to discuss together here over the next, what do we have, 25 or so minutes left? Yes. What do you think we can do? And why do you think it's changed so much that suddenly those that are against our police officers or our firefighters, and they don't give weight to the paramedics or the communication and the dispatch, what can we do as a community to change that narrative? I'm not going to say go backwards. I want to move forward, but the backwards aspect would be going back to a simpler time when there was mad respect for those that put on the uniform and said that they want to serve and protect. What went wrong? And what are you telling your kids? What are you telling your grandkids? What are you telling each other when they see a police officer? How do we share this forward? Now, I know we're going to have differing of opinions. I welcome that, by the way. I'm not going to say that everybody's going to say they believe and there's a difference. Obviously, we reported on a lot of stories, and it was supposed to, Monica, I need you to open your mind and understand something. I'm going to share this story of a woman that worked in broadcasting, and she reached out to me and said, I greatly support what your husband does. Let me start with that. I said, okay. And she said, but as a Black woman, I'm going to tell you that every time my son walks out of the house, I fear for his life. She said, what do you think that feels like as a mother? And she said, it's different. And I said, no, that's not. And she said, yes, it is. She forever was trying to tell me that she said, we will never understand unless you are a father or a mother, Black, and knowing that your child is walking out the door or driving, and as she said, is going to be stereotyped and labeled, and they're going to be pulled over just because of the color. And she's like, there's stories and stories and stories like that, Monica. And she said, it's a real thing. It happens. And I said, it may have happened, but that is not the majority, right? There is a minority percentage of the world of that profession, but it's every profession. There are bad people, correct? There are bad people in this world, but you can't say that of every police officer that puts on that uniform that they're bad. No. Have we seen some bad ones? Yes. We see it play out in the media. Sometimes way too much attention on one thing because it's the narrative that they're wanting to push. It depends on what network you're watching as to what they want to force feed you, right? Yes, these things are happening. Yes, people are being killed, but there's so many levels of this. And I don't want to go deep into the negative side of it. I want to ask what can be done. Well, in that respect, with what the woman is saying is, yes, let's make sure that we weed out more and more that you think might be in the profession that did in fact do something like that, would label someone and then figure that we're going to pull them over. What area? That's the other thing, though. I would say, what area are they hanging in? I mean, who are they hanging around? What are they being pulled into? You don't want them in the middle of all of that. Let's make sure they're not hanging around the wrong crowd. That's what I would do as a parent. You tell me, I'm not a parent, but you tell me how we can get more respect in all races, all ethnicities. It doesn't matter. We just need to be kinder as a race, right? As a human race. A lot was past 2015, and you see these signs. And I'm going to tell you that I think it creates more divisiveness when you see a sign that says Black Lives Matter. Of course they do. But I would always return to say, but don't all lives matter? And then I was thrown back with the comment, no, all lives won't matter until Black Lives Matter. And it's just this ongoing fight that people will have. And I think when you see that, it just makes me go, but all lives matter. And I'm just going to continue to say that. And it's true, is it not? But when you put a sign in the yard and that is it, and then we look at, and again, this is the whole part I don't really want to go too deep into, but if you look at the organization of Black Lives Matter, that's where you're really going to hear the story. It's not really about trying to bring the human race back together and find kindness and respect for one another. It's about pushing an agenda and a narrative. And that is what that organization has been about. But a lot of people have just jumped behind it without actually doing any research. And then they just put those signs in the yard. And that's great. But what we shouldn't have is that we can't have a sign that says Black Lives Matter and I back the blue. That's what I wanted to get at. Can we have both? Have you ever seen the two of those sit side by side in a yard or in a business window? I'd like to see that, because then, yes, we are absolutely agreeing that Black lives matter, all lives matter, We support the blue. We support red. The flags with the backing the blue, the flags with, I love the ones that are the blue and the red together. We're supporting our police and our firefighters. I've put a lot out there for you, but I want to hear from you. So what do you have to say to all that? There's a lot of discussion going on here. And that's what I want. I want the show to be about how do we bring about peace again? How do we ever get back to what Grace and I were talking about, which is, oh, kids, it's the day for you to show off your parents and what profession they have. And oh, your father's a police officer. Oh, how cool. Officer friendly. Maybe they're not going to be called officer friendly, but do they come in and they get ridiculed? Do kids get bullied because their parents are a police man or woman? And by the way, was it yesterday or a couple days ago? It was National Police Woman Day, and to honor all the women who put the police uniform on. So that was definitely this week. How do we find respect for them again? And, often I will hear my husband say, firefighters, usually they don't get the same bad rep that police officers do because they are, running into the buildings and it's not as political. That's played out in the news as the police have. And so suddenly the police officers have been, in many people's eyes, down here, and it's just disrespect. They can't even pull up to a car to try to help somebody that has a flat tire for fear of someone shooting them. I mean, that is a story that will forever live in my heart and in my head of a person who was killed, a police officer that was killed trying to pull somebody over on 44. Not pull somebody over, stop to help them, and they were shot. We hear these stories of them trying to help, and that's the end result. So what do you think that feels like for a wife, a husband, a child, a parent of someone that's in the police force? And one of the things I wrote in the description today was the decreasing numbers that we're seeing in that profession. So how do we find respect? 1, 2, how do we get more young boys and girls growing up to be asked, what do you want to do for a living? And they actually say the words, well, I want to be a police officer. I haven't heard that in a long, long time. And you want to know why? Because I hear so many parents say, I do not want my kids to go into that profession. I fear for their life. And it's just disheartening to hear those words because that's what they think is going to be playing out. Let's see what everybody's saying here. Good morning, good morning, good morning to Chrissy and Casimir and Chris and Moses. Okay, Michelle's going back to Trattoria Giuseppe saying their pizza is so good. Monica was nice enough to share. Absolutely. We went and picked it up. That's when they used to be open for lunch. I miss them for lunch. I miss a lot of the restaurants. And that also is something I hope that we get back, is to be able to get people back working in the restaurant industry. It's just getting back to work again, respecting yourself. Let's see. Anybody's comments on what we're discussing? Michelle's posted a lot of stuff here. Carl, good morning. We need our officers to provide safety for our families. Of course you do, but they need to be respected to want to do that, right? I feel that one thing we need to do as a community is first to stay positive with our words and actions. We as a community should show how much we appreciate all lives and kindness and respect to all who serve. We should all unite together for our lives, right? What do you all think about that? Please don't be afraid to either share now live or when you watch this show later, comment so that I can come back to you. Good morning, Stephanie. So Michelle's posting something for you that I don't want to forget about. She wants you to vote daily, and you can. Every day you can vote. We are in the top 5 of the best local podcasts. So she said, let's win this so we can create more awareness of the positivity and motivation that we provide on the Real Monica Adams team. So the Riverfront Times has a best of right now, and it's several categories, but she's got the link for you right now to be able to vote for us for best local podcast. Okay, everyone, how do we find respect? And Michelle, by the way, you want to let them know what podcast drops today? New audio podcast drops every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. And that's going to drop here for you in 15 minutes. So you've got this show, and then you get a chance to pop on those earbuds, maybe go for a walk, hop on the bike, whenever throughout the day you want to take a little time for yourself, sit outside, gorgeous day yet again, and then listen to one of our audio podcasts, which again are on Thursday. So we are live for you Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. So if you're just finding the show, love having you, but don't keep it to yourself. Let everybody know to comment in. We appreciate you tuning in, but we want you to spread the word to everyone else. So Kathy said it starts at home. We're talking about respect. Teach respect and kindness. Okay, so that's my question though. Are parents literally out there teaching disrespect? Just to the human race, let alone disrespect to our officers, disrespect to bully each other. I don't understand. I guess that's it. I never understand the mentality of bullying. I don't understand the mentality of disrespect. I agree that it starts at home, but I also think it starts in schools. Kathy, you bring up a really good point. But really, are there parents out there? Or here's the question I think I have. I think it's a lack of parental support. So these kids are learning from their peers, which we all could go back and say that that's probably what happens. But if your peers are telling you that this police officer is bad or this person's bad or make fun of this kid, and you don't have any guidance at home, then you're going to follow what your peers are doing. Is that what's happening? But yeah, I agree with you that it starts at home. Let's see. I want to hear from more of you. Police going into grade schools to visit with kids. Hold on. Kathy, yeah, does that even happen anymore? I mean, obviously it used to. You tell me, all of you that are parents, do the kids come home and say that the police officers go in schools anymore? There were, I don't know if there still is, but there were school resource officers. I don't know if they even have that. We've heard about defunding the police. There's so many levels of things, and I don't want to give power to the negative side of it all. I want to know, what can we do to not defund the police, to bring the school resource officers back, to get the respect back, to bring them on career day, and that we respect them and that we're excited to see them. Okay, Leona says, have complete respect for first responders, especially police officers. Since I worked for St. Louis County Police, the majority are the best and are true heroes with the calls they go on and not knowing what is going to happen. Right? What's going to happen when they go on that call? They have no idea. Let's go back and remember Blake Snyder, right? You never know what you're pulling up to. And that's why they're trained to the nth degree. But then these horrible things happen. I'll never forget that day because my husband was the second on the scene for that. She says, but saying that, there needs to be no more good old boys club when you know you have a bad officer, one that has power issues, too aggressive. Get them help or let them go. Don't cover it up. Amen. And that's kind of what I was saying is we've got to, remember I said a little earlier, we have to weed them out. I've asked my husband that same thing. I said, do you see any of that? And he's like, no, Monica, not really. He's like, and if there are some, he's like, you try to get them out of the profession. But I love the fact that she said, don't cover it up. That's so very true. If that's happening, why would you not go to your superior and say, you might want to take this one and sit them down and talk to them, because otherwise this is going to escalate and they're going to end up in the news and something horrible is going to happen, like what we've seen with Ferguson, with the Jason Stockley verdict. Again, we can go on and on and on with the verdicts and the bad things that happen, and just turn a deaf ear and act like it didn't happen and let's move on with your life because you say it doesn't affect you, but it does. It affects, because moving forward, it's trying to find, how do we ever find kindness again? And the September 11th, we aired the show with 5 wonderful gentlemen who had served, put the uniforms on in the military. One of the last ones was Boone Cutler, who wrote the book, The Citizen's Guide to 5th Generation Warfare. And he says we're approaching 6th generation warfare as well. It's not on the battlefields anymore. Now it's brainwashing in our minds and turning us against our neighbors, turning us against ourselves. And he discussed the tribalization, humanization, polarization, and killing. And it goes through all these levels, and then it goes to killing, and people don't even care. They're just taking out guns and shooting each other. That's what's happening. We're talking about it happening with police, but you're doing it to each other more than it's ever being done. It's just, it looks sexy to talk about it on the news. I'm being real with you because it's true. The whole, if it bleeds, it leads. If it's sensationalistic, let's put it on the news. That's what was happening. Good things come out of some news stories, but it's more of a rarity. Now it's like, oh, let's grab this and let's throw it on. And no one's watching anymore, by the way. You're so intelligent to not be watching that because you don't need to be fed that. All it does is turn you against your neighbor. We do not need any more of that. We need more of this. That's why we're doing this show. It is not to hear about the horrible stories, but to say, okay, I am aware this happened. Now, here's the platform. What do we need to do? I agree with those of you that are saying it starts in the home. It starts in the schools. That's where it goes. And then you've got to teach the respect as you get to be young adults. You've got to keep an eye on people, accountability partners. Marilyn says get rid of social media, tearing up our society. Yeah, my husband said that this is the most dangerous thing for their profession, that this has put them in massive danger. Everybody wanting to film, everybody thinking that they have their own news station. Oh, I'm going to put this out there and I'm going to make it go viral. And they show, what do they show? They show what they want to show. They don't show the whole story. And that happens left and right. We would get these videos coming into the news station and it's like, okay, but who has the other angle of the story? Who has what else has happened on this scene? You're just cutting it out. You're editing your narrative. And that is truly what it's become. No more actual journalism. I agree with this, Marilyn. A lot of modeling is way off. Practice what you preach. Kids listen to your words. Parents are on their phones ignoring their kids. Yep. Very true. Terry says, how we can show respect for all lives and our officers can be as simple as just focusing on your positivity in all situations. Let your officers know verbally that you support them and thank them for their service. Regularly, if I see someone in uniform, whether it's a first responder or it's somebody in the military, the first words out of my mouth are, thank you for your service. And they say, oh, and they're very humble and, oh, you're welcome. And kind of brushing it off because they don't put the uniform on to be, look at me. They literally chose that profession. Do you think they want to be shot at? Do you think they want to run into buildings that are filled with fire? No, but what they want is to protect. They want to save the community. They want to be there. They want to make a difference. That is why they chose the profession in the first place. But I'm going to ask all of you, how do we get them to choose the profession again? Because the numbers are so low from any new cadets, anybody wanting to go into the academy. And that's unfortunate because pretty soon you're going to have, if you say you don't respect the police, well, just watch what happens. Complete chaos, anarchy, when we have nobody there to protect. Are we going to whittle it down? You keep hearing about defunding the police. Well, watch what happens. We think social workers are going to be able to take care when the situation escalates to the amount that it does. Social workers might be able to come in to try to calm a situation down, but they're not going to do what our police officers do. Never is that going to happen. I'd like to hear the other side if you disagree with that. Great. Let's have a calm difference of opinion and agree to disagree, or maybe have me hear what you have to say. I want to hear from all races, and that's what this show is supposed to be about. So please share this with everyone that you know. Again, special thanks to all of you for making this platform grow as deeply as it has. I mean, if you don't know, we hit 20,000 followers plus earlier this week on September 12th. That's when we hit that. And we're growing and growing. Like somebody said, don't stop there. Oh my gosh, of course not. Now our next goal, just like little Bella wants to do $2,500 on October 8th, our next is 25,000. And then we'll go to 30 and we'll keep going in increments of 5,000. We got to keep growing this. Let's see, Nicholas Murray's. Okay, so Nicholas Murray's audio podcast drops today in less than 10 minutes on all of your audio podcast platforms. So we're talking iTunes, iHeartRadio, Amazon, what else? All of them, all the audio podcast platforms that you can think of, the big ones. That's where you can see the show. So just Google or type into your audio platform, TheRealMonicaAdams. And then you'll be able to go back to older episodes that we've already dropped. And then the one today with Nicholas Murray. Nicholas is behind Mind Muscle Pro. So I'll be sure to reach out to him to let him know and all of his following that he's going to be on the audio side. So that we wanted to drop that because a lot of people, they don't have Facebook or they're not getting on YouTube and they're like, can we just listen? Absolutely. But I love the fact that we have both for you, the video side and the audio side. Thank you, Michelle. Kathy Kilo Peterson, Maryland says, so true to you. People on their phones way too much. Actions speak louder than words. Amen to that. Wayne, good morning. My husband's grandfather was a police officer in Kirkwood. He had a personal connection to the community. He started boxing classes to the young men in the community. The community was diverse. I love that. And I love to see the stories. And again, I think it's glamorized because it happens a lot, but people will be like, oh, look, and on this day, a police officer went into the inner city and was playing basketball. Yeah, they do that. They're there. The program that started Coffee with a Cop or all those different things I love. By the way, I'm just going to pass this forward. My husband is not a fan of the word cop. Even though we could go back and it was cops on patrol, he thinks that that's kind of a slang and people will say, oh, the cops are here. And I don't know where it ever became the pigs are here, why that ever came up. But it's just that kind of slang that's where disrespect started. And that's long before the summer of 2015 that people started calling them pigs. No, they're not. They are heroes. They run in and they take care of us. And just when you want to go off on them, I mean, this is the story that I will forever tell. I've seen it happen. They are spitting in the face of a police officer. They're ridiculing them. They are, saying things that they want to happen to their family. And then all of a sudden over here, their kid or a loved one could get shot and they would immediately grab them. Please help, this just happened. Yet you just went off on them. and now you need them. And guess what they'll do? They won't turn away from you because that's what they've done. I mean, the amount of stress and mental health issues that they deal with to go through that. And to, I mean, you think as a regular human being, you're going to get together, someone's going to ridicule you, name call you, and you think that you're going to turn around and take care of that person? Heck no. You would turn away so fast, or you would try to punch that person. That's not what they do. They have had, during Ferguson, this close, let me turn sideways, this close, we filmed it, spitting in their face, having urine-filled bottles thrown in their face, screaming at them, telling them what they want people to do to their mothers and their wives and their kids. And they stand there and take it day in and day out. They are heroes and they need to be respected again as a community. But they absolutely need to have respect for our community. And they do. Yes, there are percentages of bad officers. And hopefully people will start telling them within the force, hey, boss, you probably need to sit this guy or this girl down because, as Leona said earlier, there's a power trip there. Yes, the old boys club of covering it up, that does need to stop. I agree with you. That's a good point. Hashtag thank you for your service. I love. Great one, Michelle. She said, I'll sound like an old lady, but younger folks seem to have no idea what respect for human life is. Too ready to shoot and kill. That person you shoot is someone's son, brother, father, loved one, and missed. Teach respect for the human life. Yes, that's really what we talked about on Monday. Absolutely. Kathy says, we deliver pizza to the police station at shift change every month so they know we are grateful for them. Gosh, I'm so glad you said that because my husband used to come back and say, oh yeah, this person dropped off this food, or it's around Thanksgiving or the holidays, or just because. I don't even know. Hopefully that's still happening. I don't know. COVID also changed so much that people weren't going in and being together. And now we're talking about it all over again. Strains, masks. There's another whole political divide where people are saying you got to wear a mask, you don't want to wear a mask, you got to get a shot, you got to get a booster. You can't push anything on anybody. I'm hoping that we don't all have to go back to wearing masks again and shutting things down because that really ruined society and businesses so much. So many people's businesses were lost because of that. Well, good comments today, by the way. I'm going to take a quick break and we're going to end with our You Are Enough, You Are Valued, our 52 Habits of Value with Jeff Kozatek. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com. Well, welcome back. Thank you again. If you know anybody you would like to have on this show, if you'd like us to do a business spotlight, you know someone that wants to sponsor, I've had a lot of meetings and I'm excited to say Clayton Winehouse is going to join us starting in October. And we just sealed a deal yesterday with Dr. Charles Willie. Can't wait to welcome him on board with Innovare Healthcare. And I know open enrollment is coming up next month. So I want you to think, if you're looking to change physicians, this is a man who will go to the nth degree, spend so much time with you, but he does not charge concierge medicine, which is usually what you need when you want a physician to be with you for more than 5, 7, 10 minutes. He really is an incredible physician. And I used to personal train for his seniors at Friendship Village. He used to be the president of ESSA and Essence Healthcare. Dr. Charles Willie, I want you all to welcome him on board. You're going to hear him. He's going to be one of my experts. You know, Oprah had her experts. Dr. Charles Willie, you'll be seeing coming on our show very soon on a weekly basis. We're going to talk about big pressing stories in the medical field. I want you to do the Ask the Doctor segment. So he's coming on, Clayton Winehouse, as I mentioned, and there's a couple more things out there that haven't completely sealed the deal on yet, but excited to do that because there's a lot of meetings, people that are aligning with our mission. And that's the whole thing. If you know someone that you think aligns with our mission, reach out. My email address is right there, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. And let me just run through and thank them once again. Of course, Envita Health and Wellness, our title sponsor. Love Dr. Sarah and Jamie and the staff at Envita and all the incredible things that they're doing. We were talking last night about a topic I want to discuss, and it's weight loss and people using semaglutide and Ozempics and the incredible success that they've had. We're talking about diabetic medicine that all of a sudden they found was helping those the diabetics losing weight. Then suddenly it became people wanting to use it as a weight loss drug. She stresses that people can't do that on their own, right? So it is Envita Health and Wellness taking care of you in a very controlled environment. So we're going to have Dr. Sarah on very soon. We'll talk about that and other patients that are just singing their praises. The show that's going to be coming up with her soon has to do with hydration for your athletes, right? The football season just started, soccer season, and she talks about hydration on the sidelines, as well as shedding the skin that you're in, meaning we're transitioning very soon in a matter of a couple of weeks or less from summer to fall. So what are you doing with your skin? So that is coming up for you within the week. Before I go to our book, let's see. The video games seem to drive disrespect for other human beings. Boy, that's true. There we go. We're back. Sorry about that. Hopefully I didn't get away from you too soon. Anyway, yes, video games. I absolutely agree with that comment. Good morning to all of you that are just signing on. Please go back to watch the show about a great benefit that's coming up October 8th to take care of our first responders. You'll want to come to that. Good morning, Kathy, Carrie. Well, hi, Marla, all the way from Kentucky. I love that. Yes, Dr. Willie and Clayton Winehouse. I know. Welcome to the Real Monica Adams family. Anybody else that you can think that you want to be a part of this show, if you'd like to become a sponsor, one more time, there's my email address. And I just want to thank all of them. So let's give a special shout out to Envita Health and Wellness, Carroll House Furniture, Eldon, indoor air quality specialist. And then as well, we had Florida Direct Palm Trees. They are shifting around and they're going to become, I think it's like Santa's Toy Shop or whatever. That's in Osage Beach. Greg and Lori Wick, thank you for coming on as Florida Direct Palm Trees. Did you see that show yesterday? If not, be sure to watch that. Go back to yesterday's show because he is taking care of all the plants and the trees and the transition of the season, telling us how to take care of those tropical plants. And yes, you can have tropical plants in this zone. That's the one thing that I absolutely love. Or you can bring them inside. I saw somebody reached out to me and showed me their palm tree and said, hey, look, we've had ours. This is our third year. It's going strong. I love it. He gave us some good advice. And I hope you got something out of that as well. And then Kathy Kilo Peterson, kkilo.com, wonderful State Farm agent. So thank you for all of you that have come on so far. But let me know, just like Rose reached out to us, telling us about 3 incredible businesses that we've been having meetings with. So there's more people that we would like to bring on board as long as they align with our mission. That's what it's about. Okay. We're going to wrap up here with the blueprint for value. And we're talking about 52 habits to discover and strengthen your personal worth. We're in the Empower chapter, which is chapter 3. And we are now on, I think we're either on All In or Weeding. I think it's All In. Let me see if this seems, well, maybe I'll give you both. How about that? Number 29, All In. If you want 100% level results, you got to give 100% effort. In the circus, I did read that one. So go back. So it pretty much, I'll just read a little bit of this. In the circus, you have to go all in. If you were to cautiously jump from a trapeze bar to another, and you try to walk on a ball or casually walk on a tight wire, you'd fail, right? Commit 100% to experience success earlier and more frequently. So let's move to number 30, weeding. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. There are many good things to do, but not all of them align with your purpose. Well, isn't that ironic? I won't put just anybody on the show with regards to a guest or a sponsor unless they align with us. So he's talking about aligning with purpose, aligning with passion or a skill set. Like weeds in a garden, these good things can sprout up quickly, consume all the nutrients in the soil, and occupy the best places for sunlight. Effectively starving and crowding out the flowers you want in your garden. A mind crowded with weeds can lead to exhaustion, lack of focus, depression, hopelessness. Well, pull the weeds. Removing the energy drains and responsibility hogs will give your personal worth account fertile soil and room to grow. Where are you investing your energy, your time, your talents, your treasures? Do they align with your core values? So, what's the takeaway from today? Pull the weeds. Focus on tasks that move you toward your dreams and goals. It's okay to say no to distractions and say yes to you. Love him. Again, the book, Blueprint for Value, 52 Habits to Discover and Strengthen Your Personal Worth. We're flipping through fast, aren't we? We're on number 31. Well, thank you to all of you. Michelle's posting there for you. Yes, Blueprint for Value. Thank you. Enjoy this beautiful day. Have a good day. Till tomorrow's show. We've got some big shows coming up. Let me let you know what's on tap for next week on Monday and Tuesday when we're live in studio. On Monday, we will have Angie Maui. So the story, if you go to the zoo about the young boy Luke that was struck and killed. Well, we're going to have Angie on, and we're going to remember his life as his birthday would be coming up this week. And then I'm going to be taping a show with a friend of mine, Kasia Sitars. She's in Canada. So yes, when we talk about interviewing people, I don't mean just locally. We can interview people all over the place. So Kasia's going to talk about cold plunges and the benefits that they have. She's going to talk about taking care of your heart in a whole nother level than maybe you're currently thinking of. I'm also going to showcase how incredible she is. She's a beautiful fitness model. She's like, oh, Monica, you're going to pull those pictures back up. And I said, yeah, we've got to show you. You work hard on your body and your soul and your spirit. So that'll be a wonderful show. That one's going to be recorded in Canada. And then we'll turn that into a really pretty packaged piece for you on Tuesday. Someone very near and dear to my heart, Dr. Dawnetta Woodruff. And her company is called Pets at Rest. What she does for your animals. If you are an animal lover and God forbid they're nearing their end of life, you don't want to just take them up to a cold veterinary hospital. That should not be the last feelings they have, the last people that they're around. They need to be by you in a warm environment, either at your home or in this wonderful new facility that she has that feels like your home, where the dog doesn't have to be put down in your own space. I love what she does. She is so incredible, and she's an angel walking on earth. She has taken care of 3 of our babies. It was gut-wrenching. She's like, I need to meet you out where it's not in that circumstance. I agree with that. I love this lady, and you're going to fall in love with her as well. That's just 2 of the shows coming up. We've got more great ones that you'll be seeing again with Invita Health and Wellness. My friend Sally Drake, she is a incredible endurance coach. We talk about triathlons and just talk about persevering. She got one of the most influential business women from the Business Journal. She's featured in a book, the Grit book, which Kathy Kilo Peterson's also involved in, the whole aspect of tenacity and integrity and just grit in general, what we need more of in our lives, right? So Sally's coming up. We've got Dr. Sarah coming up. We have a beautiful feature on Trattoria Marsala. You can't wait for you to see that because they are involved in the last thing I'm going to tell you before we say goodbye today. Please mark November 4th on your calendar. I want to see each and every one of you, and we have a limited amount of tickets. So you need to buy your tickets ASAP. It is November 4th at Clayton Wine House on Clayton Road, just right around the corner from our studios in Brentwood. We're talking about food from Trattoria Marsala, tastings, wine tastings, bourbon tastings, a live and silent auction, all the proceeds from the auction going to Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. All the proceeds from that auction. We're going to have a motivational speaking engagement for about 15 to 20 minutes and all like-minded people there having an incredible night together. So tickets are on sale right now. You can go to my website, TheRealMonicaAdams.com, click on what's new and purchase your ticket. Get your friends together, a girls' night out, guys' night out, family, a date night out, bring the kids. It doesn't matter. I just want to impact and have us all together. And that's just going to be the first of many events to come. All right. It's going to be p.m., 6 to 8 p.m. on November 4th at Clayton Winehouse. And that's why we're going to bring them on very, very soon. Clayton Winehouse, we're going to bring them on and tell about all the incredible things that they do. So for all of you, thank you so much for tuning into the show, and can't wait to have you at an event very soon or get a chance to see you. Somebody said go to the Butterfly House outside garden. Kathy's family's beautiful angel tree dedication yesterday. Oh, I love that. Stephanie said my sister loves palm trees. She needs to get some. And we've got the Walk for the World coming up as well on the 23rd. Couple events that you can see us at. Walkforthe.world. Sign up there. It's going to be in Chesterfield. And then that evening is Equus Rescue Therapy, the big event in Millshot, Illinois, at their place, Equus Rescue. There's a lot of opportunities to come out and see us and to give back to the world. I'd love for you to do just that. Don't stay in your own little space. Get out of your own way and see what's going on in our world. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate your kindness and paying it forward and changing the world together. Don't keep it all to yourself. Let everybody know that we're here to change the world together. Okay, go out, be anything you want to be in the world. Remember, before you do anything, though, please be kind. God bless you all. Love you.